Of course.
Yeah, I think you might want to, but, you know, what's their incentive to stay there all year round, ready to answer your call, unless they're getting supported by the community?
Well, that's the point. They do get supported by the community, those who want the service. There'll be a few people who say, oh, I don't want it, but so what? The protection will still be there, the support will still be there, and they'll get the job done.
Well, don't you think that some people just don't know what's good enough for them, that they need the government to tell them?
That's what we're told, that we need the government to tell us what's good for us. But I've discovered that whatever the government comes up with for an answer to our problems is usually worse than if we did it ourselves.
Now, one thing that really annoys me, and being a lawyer, I know that there are 49 different subspecialties of law. It's hard enough keeping up with all developments in one or two of them than holding yourself out as a lawyer without any training or experience at all. What gives you the right to go ahead and represent people when you could possibly be leading them into more trouble than they've ever gotten into before?
I quoted you on that already. No person shall be deprived of liberty.
You have the liberty to provide inferior services to people.
Yes, if they want them. And I've had people go stand in front of the judge and say, I'm aware that Mr. Melechinsky is not a lawyer, but I believe that he'll do a better job for me than any lawyer will, and I insist on having his services. And the judge will say, no, you can't. We have a monopoly that doesn't allow. Of course, they don't use the word monopoly, but that's what they say. We won't allow him if he hasn't got our approval. And in order to get their approval, you have to learn the various ways in which to bend, twist, and pervert the law in such a way that it's acceptable to the system.
Well, that's called zealously and competently representing your client and according to the canons of ethics of this profession.
Well, the canons of ethics are not very good when they say you have to be loyal to the system rather than to your client.
Your primary loyalty is to your client.
That's not what the lawyers say.
That's what I'm a lawyer. That's what I say.
They have judicial decisions, which I can show you, and yours, in which they say that the lawyer's first duty is to the court and to the people, and then his next duty is to the client.
Well, I don't always agree with the leading decisions of the land, and I'm often considered a maverick and renegade. Not a renegade, a maverick, I should say. A lawyer has to preserve the confidence of his client. If you were telling me that you were going to go out and commit a murder, I would have to keep that secret.
Well, I'm not sure that's valid.
Yeah, that is the law.
I know. That's what the lawyers
if you were to come to my office and say, David, I just robbed the 7th, 8th, and 9th national banks. I've got all this money, and I'm on a plane to Buenos Aires. He couldn't turn you in. That's loyalty to you, the client, not to the FBI, the CIA.
It's loyalty to your oath as a lawyer, which you promise to do no harm.
I'm not doing any harm. I'm keeping the confidences of a client. That's like the priest has to keep the confidence.
Well, I maintain that you have to keep the confidence of the client to your own satisfaction, not to the satisfaction of the government. And if you see an injustice that's going to occur because of your silence, I maintain you have a right to break that silence without being penalized.
Well, I think a lawyer who breaks that silence